Hello everyone, welcome to Alphawisdom. I'm Mystic Cassandria. We're talking continuously about the lifeline. So let's get started. Now what we're covering today are 3 examples of the lifeline. And your check sheet, of course, is here. And this is the example we're looking at. All right. Now I introduced to you previously what the fork looked like on the lifeline and what it meant. But there's something else about the fork I feel you need to know. So that's where we are now. Here we have a fork. Usually we see the fork somewhat like this, and maybe it's not that long. And then what do we have here? This little line in the middle is the lifeline. And here's the fork on the inside. Okay, you see how close that is together? That represents a narrow fork. It is a fork, yes, but it's just narrow. That's all. That's the only difference. And you can see what we're talking about on this page. A narrow fork. This means that there is a long struggle to cope with 2 demands at once. 2 demands. This could be like 2 interests the person has, or it could be 2 professions. There may not be a relationship to the 2. They may be totally different, or they could be similar, but they will never be the same. Otherwise, you don't need a fork for that. Okay? So a typical scenario, an example is that a woman who brings up children. The kind of fork is sometime, and we have a long one. Okay? This shows here, she has to have concerns and take care of them. Plus, she's got to make the money, provide lodging for them. Okay, 2 things on 1 person. It's tough, but that's typical. Now, that's not the only example. That's one I came up with for you. Now, also, it says over here, this kind of fork is sometimes so long. It could be this one, or it could be this one. And narrow, that it almost becomes a double lifeline, okay? That means this line could have started way back here, stepped away from this line, and coming on down. I don't know if you can see what I put there, probably can't. But it doesn't have to be here. It's just letting you know. By starting here, that means, boy, she has it for a long time. It could go even further back, but it will be close to. It won't be wide. It'll look just like this. That's why it gives the impression of it being another lifeline, or a sister line, or a support line, or a Mars line. But if it's going to be Mars, it's got to start back here. Okay? And but usually these don't start back here, because if it's on the woman's hand, she doesn't have the children at this point. She has children a little older. Okay, a little common sense there. All right, so we will leave this one and go on to our next one. And that's the striated. And then it does look like it's messy, so I did put that word in there, but it's striated. When we have sharp lines and you don't know where they're going, it looks like a bunch of confusion there. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Messy start. This simply means the person who has a hand that looks like this, a lifeline, had a difficulty in early life. And there are a couple of reasons why this may be like this. It was caused by trauma or health. Health problem, well, that always shows up. This is the lifeline. And trauma could be the child is just overwhelmed when they're very young and it's too much coming at them, and it's difficult for them to cope. Remember, how you feel, what you think, what's happening in your life will show in your palm. Okay, so that probably, we don't know which one it is, but that's probably why that's happening. And this you can put a timeline on this. This is well into the 20s before they seem to get a hold on it. They feel that it's okay. They're doing okay. All right? So that's what we have for this one. This means the person's early life is difficult. There could be islands here. And if the islands are there, you'll know that this is a health issue. Okay? And of course, if it's not health, then it's some kind of emotional trauma that the child or the person is going through in this early part of life. Okay, I hope we're clear on that one. Let's take one more. Okay, this one is the lifeline starting high up. It swings around into the center, but it starts well up. Now, a lot of them start around here. So you can have them starting high, or you can have them starting low. Okay? Now, this represents idealism, logical, and a perfectionist. Okay? This lifeline starting high sometimes with a branch. Sometimes we'll see a branch here. Just a line coming up. Sometimes you'll see one, sometimes you'll see two. Okay? That's always positive. Okay? And it always reaches up toward this one. It may be back here, but it's always like headed this direction to Jupiter, this finger, your index finger. This brings idealism and a cool, logical personality. Someone who's also a perfectionist. Okay? So this can happen. Some people have this. This is common. In fact, all of these are common examples of what the lifeline might look in your palm. All right? Okay. We've covered most of the ones I wanted you to see because they're very important. And the next time we will, how this works with your relationships before we leave the lifeline. Is there something the way the palm may look, the lifeline would look to show what's going on in your life? We'll see. All right, so that'll be the last day of the week. Thanks for watching. Give a thumbs up if you like this series. And by all means, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Welcome again to the new subscribers. It's a joy to have you. Well, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Love yourself. Love and light. Bye.